poems and letters and things from the kids there, and it just has been fantastic. Thank you very much, Vermilion.
Well, congratulations. You've done what no Canadian male or female has ever done. Now, you mentioned the medal ceremony. Yours is at, I think, at about 8:24 Mountain, 10:24 Eastern, and Katrina LeMay-Doan is just prior to you at 8:06, so we'll have
fabulous.
them both live here tonight. And I understand, do you like Smash Mouth?
Yeah.
Smash Mouth, well, Smash Mouth is appearing. Apparently, they just handed me a note, so you can get your medal and you can stay and listen to them. Becky,
good.
congratulations.
Thank you,
we were
Brian.
afraid we wouldn't get you in before the hockey game. I know the traffic was bad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Becky Scott, the pride of Vermilion, Alberta.
Вернулся. Господи, он же в Испании.
Наташа, что же будет с нашей любовью?
Я не хочу эту любовь.
Молчи, дурак.
Having difficulty getting RSPs off your mind? We make it easy. RBC Financial Group. RSPs made easy.
On March 22nd, Universal Pictures presents the 20th anniversary of E.T., the Extraterrestrial.
What's happening?
With enhanced visual effects, never-before-seen footage, and a digitally remastered soundtrack. Steven Spielberg's E.T., the Extraterrestrial. Only in theaters Friday, March 22nd.
This is Cap Rouge, hometown of Patrick Bouchard, Olympic speed skater. It's my old town too. I'm a sports physiotherapist. First time I met with Patrick, he came in my office like this, barely walking straight, and we fixed him up. You can do that with a bad back. We have ice a great part of the year, so you might as well skate.
Canada is Wayne Gretzky's team as it was 4 years ago, but this time he's extended the invitations.
The privilege of being able to coach Canada's team is just awesome.
The country's hockey royalty has gathered again with a significant addition, the captain. As it began in Nagano, the journey starts in Salt Lake City against Sweden, a team with stars of its own. 4 years of waiting. It's time.
Back live in Salt Lake City. There they are out at the East Center, Bob Cole and Harry Neal. Listen, the last time we did this was at the Big Hat. We've seen this scenario before, haven't we, Bob?
Yes, we have. You remember that first game in Nagano, Japan, Brian? It was a good game. I remember Patrick Wall was outstanding. Sweden might have won that game, but they lost it to Canada 3-2. Now, 4 years later, here we are in Salt Lake City, and their first taste of these Olympics, they go at each other here tonight at the East Center. It's going to be a good one. You know, there's no Peter Forsberg for Sweden. And Harry, Canada has added some very talented people up front.
Boy, have they ever. They may play Lemieux, Sakic, and Korea as a line. I'm not sure of that yet, but they're great additions. Mario Lemieux 6 times has won the Art Ross Trophy, 3 times the Hart Trophy, a brilliant playmaker, got a terrific shot, and you can expect big things from him. People say they haven't seen him as excited about hockey since they won the Stanley Cup in Pittsburgh. Paul Kariya, 8 points in 7 games in the '94 Olympics, was injured and could not play in Nagano. I watched him practice yesterday, and I'm telling you, he is flying and looks like he's really enjoying playing for a team that might win. And Joe Sakic, he'll be a full-time Olympian this year. He played 4 games in Nagano and then couldn't finish the series because he was injured. And when you add these 3 veterans to Jerome McGinley, the #1 scorer in the National Hockey League, Canada's got a good chance to do something here in Salt Lake.
Don't count out Sweden, though, led by their captain, Mats Sundin, and he's got people backing him up who can surely score, too.
Oh, boy, this is anything but a pushover. Sundin, 3rd in the league in goals. Mats Naslund, 2nd in points. Alfredsson from Ottawa led Sweden at the Olympics in '98 in Nagano, and Lindstrom is the best defenseman in the National Hockey League. If you go by last year's standards, he won the Norris Trophy. So this is going to be a real tough battle, and if you can pick the winner, Bob, you should have a real job in hockey.
And what about the goaltending? Well, we've been waiting and waiting, and now we know. Brodeur will back up Curtis Joseph in this first game tonight. Now, Harry, you've seen Curtis most recently in his last few games in the National Hockey League, and how has he looked to you?
Well, I don't think Curtis has had a bad year. The Leafs are not giving up as many chances or as many shots against, so he doesn't quite look as spectacular, but I don't think Canada's got any worry in goal with Curtis Joseph.
Tommy Salo?
Tommy Salo's been terrific for Edmonton. He's played a pile of games. Is there a little fatigue? And when you add that to the pressure cooker of the Olympics, will Salo be affected? If not, this will be a goaltender's battle worth watching.
Brian, the place is sold out, and you know, when they came out for the warm-up, this crowd seems to be solidly behind Canada. Back to you.
All right, Bob and Harry, get ready. We'll rejoin you in just a minute. I know the Edmonton Mercury's, the surviving members, people like Al Purvis and Bill Darr looking on from Edmonton. Up next, the quest to end 50 years of disappointment continues. It's Canada and Sweden. Back to Bob Cole and Harry Neal live from Salt Lake City right after this.
Introducing the tough, versatile Saturn Vue. At home in almost any environment.
If I had just one McDonald's French fry left, who would I give it to? I'd save it for somebody.
Someone that rocks.
I'd give it to my first and only girlfriend.
I'd give it to the best coach I ever had.
I'm not telling. The last fry goes to the whole Canadian Olympic team.
And let them fight over it.
There's a little
Buying or selling. When you step into the market, call Maxwell first. With over 400 of the best trained realtors in Alberta, the next door we open should be yours.
Check the score.
Okay. It's 2-all.
2-all?
9.5 seconds left, and a huge...
Sally,
yeah, we're on the way.
who's here? Everybody's here.
Here we go. Stepping alone, shooting
Life happens. You just never know when. Go. Get a bonus 3 months unlimited local calling from Bell Mobility. Call 1-866-7-GO-BELL or visit a Bell World store today.
There's stealing, cheating, and lying.
In their world, they were family until business got in the way of brotherhood.
We are now part of an organization, coast to coast.
Chapter by chapter.
Every time somebody gets hit, they look at me.
The stakes get higher.
You guys are here to kill you. Over 100 people want me dead. Why should you more bother me?
The riveting 3-part miniseries, The Last Chapter, begins March 3rd on CBC.
The 2002 Olympic Winter Games on CBC. Brought to you by Labatt Blue. On the road to gold with Canada's Olympic team. And by Bell, connecting Canadians to our Olympic team. Bell, go!
And hello, Canada, once again. Canada and Sweden hooking up in this first game for these two teams at Salt Lake City 2002. The starting lineups are being introduced to this capacity crowd. Joseph in goal for Canada, Foote and Blake, the defensemen, and up front will be Lemieux, Correa, and Sakic. Sweden starting Tommy Salo in goal. In front of him on the blue line will be Lidstrom and Fredrik Olsson, Sundin, Alfredsson, and Dahlin up front. The referee in the game will be from the National Hockey League, Dennis Leroux. There's Pat Quinn, Team Canada coach, getting set. His final adjustments. From Wisconsin, the linesman Dan Shakti, his first Olympics. And from Russia, also in his first Olympics, Sergei Kulikov. And the Swedish coach. That's Hardy Nilsson. And he's got a great lineup to throw at Canada. Dallin, Sundin, Alfredsson will start. Sundstrom, Naslund, and Nylander will make up another line. Renberg, Janssen, and Zetterberg on line 3. And how about line 4? Arvidsson, Mattias Johansson, and Holmström.
Now the Olympic custom, the captains will exchange pennants. Mats Sundin from Sweden and Mario Lemieux from Canada. Don't forget the rule changes. No red line on a pass. No touch icing, hurry-up face-offs, and the big ice, as Don Cherry mentioned, 15 feet wider, the neutral zone 4 feet longer. It'll be interesting to see what effect those rule changes have on both these teams.
That makes up for 3,000 extra square feet of ice, and that's a lot. Think about that. Here we go. Referee comes to center ice, and Dennis Leroux is about to get this one going.
One little change from the Olympics versus the NHL. There are no national anthems before the games here in the Olympics. And so it's a bit of a strange way to start by our standards.
This afternoon, Russia, in its first game, defeated Belarus 6-4, and that was a very spirited game. Canada in red. Sweden in the gold jerseys. And away we go. Face-off won by Sweden. Olsson back to that for Lidstrom. Nicholas Lidstrom shot the puck up across the Canadian line. And the captain, Mario, comes back for it. That's Korea, number 9, slipping away from the first hit. Gets it down through center, and Sweden knocked down that pass, and they come right back in. It's dropped by Alfredsson. Sundin slapped it up the net. That's wide of the goal, and Adam Foote takes over. Laid it up on the right side, down through center ice. Shot into the zone quickly by Joe Sakic. That's Korea. This is Sakic from the corner. Comes out in front on the backhand. The first shot looked very dangerous, and Tommy Salo had the angle on that, but Sakic looked terrific coming out with it.
Sakic's tied for 5th in the NHL in points, has 19 goals. The Burnaby native got hurt after 4 games in Nagano, and here is the first scoring chance for Canada as Sakic walks out from the corner and puts a backhand on Tommy Salo, and the face-off is to right of the Swedish goaltender in his own end. The hurry-up face-off, so there's no dilly-dallying around or they'll drop the puck.
It's dropped now, and again Sweden controls on this draw. Around the net for Mattias Nordstrom to get it up as far as the line. Canada keeps it in, but not long. Kim Janssen plays it out. Now grabbed by Nordstrom again and across center to dump it in on Curtis Joseph. He plays it for the first time with a stick. And Canada tries to get organized in its own zone. That was a nice move on the boards by Stevie Yzerman. Here they come. Down the wing is Iginla. Slipped by that hip check. Into the corner is Shanahan. Back in front, the shot. That's stopped. Great chance for Iginla on that. Nice pass by Shanahan. Around the net again. In there is Steve Yzerman, but he won't find this one as Sweden picks it up and gets it back out. Down comes Nylander. Shot to Joseph. Right pad save as he went down to make that butterfly stop. Down for Canada. Big Lindros is moving hard. Coming into the slot with a flip pass that went by. Lindros knocked it in behind the net. Comes in after it. He leaves it now. And it's Canada's Nolan trying to center on this near side. McInnes' shot is blocked. Canada looking sharp in the early going. Here's a pass in front. Gets to McInnes. Couldn't get a shot. Sweden stopped by McInnes at center. Renberg just shoved it away, and McInnes fell. Renberg tried to pass, but Canada lead pass. Big Lindros. Hard shot. Stopped by Sello.
Well, Eric Lindros is off to a big start. He had 5 points in 6 games in Nagano in '98. And the London native, now with the New York Rangers, seems to have recovered from his knee injury that threatened to keep him out. And he let a hard shot go after taking this pass. The Swedes were changing on the fly, but couldn't get it by Salo.
Face off to the left of Salo now. No score, just underway. Pekka, number 37, in forechecking.
That's Mattias Olin for Sweden. Got it over behind the net. Cleared out by Lidstrom again. Olin across center with the pass. Hard hit on the far side. That's the first good hit in the game. And Nieuwendyk. And Mattias Olin. Fleury. Didn't get the pass away. We'll try it again. Steals it. Gets it up there quickly to Pekka. Drop back shot. Score! What a play! And Rob Blake jumps into it and rifles home the first goal of this game. Canada 1, Sweden nothing.
The one thing we know Rob Blake can do is join the rush. And he did. And got a nice pass from Fleury to wire it right through Tommy Salo. Here's the shot. And Salo should have had it. And no one knows it more than Mr. Salo. So Canada draws first blood and are up 1-0 on the Rob Blake goal.
2:37 the time of the goal. Again, Sweden controlling the faceoffs. Olsson jumps out of his own zone, gets a nice pass up there for Sundin, but his pass is picked off and cleared back out by Sakic. Sakic, Korea, and Lemieux on again for Canada. Sweden on the move. Olsson got the line all right, then from the blue line, a high shot is deflected off the glass. Didn't get out, now it bounces away, and down on that right side was Sakic. It's called on the offside. As Korea tried to feed it up to him, he was behind everybody.
Well, Rob Blake's got the big bomb from the point, and when you give him a chance after he took this pass right here from Pekka, when you give him a chance to shoot from the top of the circle after he's had a 10-foot run, it's going to be a tough one to stop. And Tommy Salo was open in the middle, and the shot went right through him.
Blake's first, of course. Pekka and Fleury assisting on that first goal. 2:37 was the time. Nice pass for Nylander. Drops it back. Naslund gets in. Shot stopped by Joseph. That's his first test. Nylander kept it in. Sweden applying some pressure here. Naslund played it off the boards. It comes back to the line. Ragnarsson can't shoot it. Bad angle for him now. Naslund can't pick it up. It's cleared by Sundstrom into the corner again. Sweden trying to get back at Canada and get a goal. Give them a lift. Canada took over from the face-off at center to start the game. Had some good chances until Blake scored. They're leading 1-0, and they're coming out of the zone now. Down through center is Yzerman. Gets it up there for Shanahan. Shanahan's weak shot. Salo down this time and hangs on to this.
One thing you will notice, and this could cost the team a chance against, and that is the number of times they're going to have to change on the fly. Because of the fewer whistles, no red line pass, and with these group, a gang that can really handle the puck, and the shoot-ins are kind of taboo in Olympic hockey.
Gagne won that face-off. Canada attacking again, controlling the zone on the draw. Oh, Nolan missed a chance at that far side, and Sweden will bring it out. Nicholas Lidstrom again. Up across center is Zetterberg. Cuts in on a bad angle. Had to go around the net. Hangs onto it well. Backed it up a little bit, and Gagne was there for Canada to move it away to the line and out. Nice pass through center by Nolan. And they're offside on the rush.
Owen Nolan, he was a bit of a doubtful for a while with a bad back, but has come around. 40 points, 14 goals for San Jose. He's got the big shot, and in one-on-one fights for the puck, Nolan will win more than his share. There's Mr. Gretzky, who's the manager of Team Canada, and is really excited about the possibilities of his team in the gold medal.
Nordstrom played it in for Sweden. Canada back out. Nieuwendyk. Pass chopped down at center ice. 1-0 Canada. Sweden on the move. They bring it back in. Axelsson tried to pass. Another shot high. Just over the crossbar. Sweden attacking. This shot from the line is blocked. And it'll be cleared to center by Fleury, who wants to go and was just a little late crossing the line, and Nieuwendyk was ahead of him offside.
Well, Sweden gets a great chance to tie the hockey game here, No one takes Olin. He gets this chance, and then he's going to get another chance from the point. So the defensive zone coverage on the point men, as talented as Matthias Olin, is important. He'll walk off the point, and he can burn you from there.
Canada winning the faceoff. McGinnis drops it back. Brewer, number 3, lost it at center ice. Tried to recover, didn't have to. Mario Lemieux came back to pick it up for him. Now Brewer, long pass, just missed Lemieux. And turning is Alfredsson for Sweden, backed up in his own zone. Nice one to Sundin, right in, he scores! Sundin took a look, had lots of time on Joseph. That long lead pass. And Sundin ties the game for Sweden.
What a pass by Ragnarsson to put Sundin in at the Canadian blue line. And Matt Sundin, who has 31 goals, made no mistake. Look at the pass right here as Sundin steps into the hole. Takes the 50-foot pass, is in the clear, and snaps it by Joseph. That's Sundin's 15th point in 20 games, counting 19 in the National Hockey League against Curtis Joseph. 5 of them goals. That's Sundin having a great year, the captain of 3 different teams. Here, Toronto and Team World in the All-Star Week.
5:30 the time of the goal. Sundin ties it. Nylander dropped it back. Another shot is wide from the blue line. Good chance for Kim Janssen. Now Lemieux pushed a pass quickly to Correa. He's flying away. Back for Lemieux. Lemieux grabbed from behind. Couldn't make the play back for Correa. And Sweden coming back out. Nylander's long pass. Gets up there at center ice. Don't get too far in the first rush. Lidstrom takes his time. Had to back off. Sundstrom was inside the line. He came back on side, and there he is. Drops it back all the way across center ice. Lidstrom. Up again. Sweden looking better now. More confident. The game is tied on Sundin's goal. Up there is Naslund. Knocked it in behind the net. Canada trying to pick it up, but they fail on the first attempt. Another test coming for Joseph, but this one is whipped high by Kenny Janssen. Over the glass, up behind Curtis Joseph.
Let's have another look at the Matt Sundin goal. He has 31 in the National League. There's the pass, and Sundin takes it, stays on side, looks for the 5-hole. Look at that head up, puck out to the side, where he could stick handle, make it deep, or shoot it, and puts it in, like he's done it before a lot of times.
Alfredsson, they give that assist to.
Yeah, I had Ragnarsson. Where's Alfredsson?
Sundin tying the game at 5:30. Blake from Pekka and Fleury had opened the scoring. Now Shanahan gets the zone. Fired back in front of the net, off the stick and wide of the goal, right in front of the goal! What a chance that was! Iginla stays there, but Salo covers up, and Iginla was all alone for some time. And Salo looked pretty sharp.
Iginla did have 2 chances. The first one, the best one right here, and then he gets a bonus chance after Yzerman strips the puck from the Swedish Nordstrom. And then Iginla, who stays in front of the net, gets a little bonus chance after this one. There's the good takeaway, and Yzerman gets a shot, and Iginla can't get his stick on the rebound.
The Swedish player, Jorgen Janssen, thrown out. Didn't matter. Zetterberg won the draw anyway from Eric Lindros. Canada trying to keep it in with Gagne. It stays inside the line. Now Kenny Janssen all the way back around his own net. Comes away with Gagne, the forechecker for Canada. He goes by him easily. Gagne was stopped in his tracks, allowing Janssen to move on, and they're offside at the line. The score is tied at 1.
Home Depot has employed more Olympic hopefuls than any other company in the world. Home Depot, proud sponsor of the Canadian Olympic team.
Canada coming in on that little rush from the face-off, and Salo again smothering the puck.
Remember, there are no TV timeouts in Olympic hockey. We have to pay for this broadcast, so occasionally we'll join and play. Don't worry about it. We won't miss a thing.
Gagne gets his first shot, and that was off the net. Lindros bodied by Matthias Oland in there. And Sweden had to come back to regroup. Lindros continues the forecheck. Oland, pass, tipped at center. It's shot into the zone by Johansson. Far side, stick grabbed to Arvidsson. He got away with something and couldn't get the puck. Canada with it. Nolan left it. McInnes. He'd love to pound one, but he didn't have any room that time. He was checked under the boards. Hit by Marcus Ragnarsson. McInnes all the way back. Turns at his own blue line. Pass gets up for Nieuwendyk. Cuts for the net. Dropped it back. Pekka comes up to take it from the corner and around the net for Nieuwendyk on the other side. Nieuwendyk is bumped by Ragnarsson. That's 2 hits for him on this shift. Knocked in around the net by Alfredsson of Sweden, and they're going to bring it away. Sundin missed the pass, and Rob Blake tossed it up over center ice. Comes back in, and nearly a break on that play for Alfredsson. Just missed it. Sundin forechecks. Nieuwendyk missed it at center, but look out, Pekka is in. High shot and glove by Tommy Salo. Got the catching hand up and looked sharp, grabbing that one.
This is Tommy Salo's third Olympics. He had a .227 goals against average in Nagano. And he makes a sparkling catch right here on this shot from a bad angle. I don't know whether it was on the net, but he showed a quick pair of hands to make this one Canada. This was their 6th scoring chance. Sweden's had 3, and we are at 1-1.
And the face-off coming to the left of Tommy Salo. Korea jumps in, not in time to get the puck goal. Kim Janssen moved it up on the boards. It is out. Nylander out of his reach. Turning back for Canada, Sakic. Shot it in. Korea on the move along the boards to the corner. When he was over it in front, goes behind the net to try to find it with Korea. But it's Sweden picking it up and clearing it out. Lead pass doesn't work this time. Michael Nylander was up there, and Naslund saw him. The Canadian defenseman stopped the pass. Turning back out. Niedermayer made the play. Connor shot it across center. Sweden covering that blue line area, and they have to back up again. Niedermayer through center. The pass gets in off the stick of Korea. They got it off the boards and centered it quickly. Covered in front of the net by Kim Janssen. Sweden back out. Nice play from Enberg. Up over the Canadian line. Tried to cut inside, and Niedermayer wouldn't let him. Nylander moves up for Sweden and helps out on the boards. A shot around the net. Hustling over there is Jorgen Janssen. Couldn't stop the puck. It's back inside the Swedish blue line. And they come back. 1-1 tie, nearing the halfway mark of period 1. Sweden moving out. First game for these two teams. That pass was missed, and that's icing. Our coverage of the 2002 Olympic Winter Games from Salt Lake City will continue.
I'm gonna take a westbound, heading down the rails. I end my day with the setting sun. I'm a happy man, now the work is done. Now when I hear that whistle call me, no matter where I roam, I see the light that shines for me. That's when I know I'm home. When I know I'm home.
Later tonight, Olympic prime time, Finland and the United States in men's hockey, 10:45 Eastern Time.
In the United States, we saw them practice yesterday, Bob, and it was an energetic, confident type-looking team to me. Herbie Brooks was a great motivator. We all know that. So that'll be a good start.
Adam Foote in his own zone, off the glass, down the ice. Matthias Oland. Circles right back, all the way back, and waits. And now Matthias Janssen helps out. Comes away. First pass was intercepted by Gagne. Couldn't make a move on it, though, for Lindros. They pile it in on the boards, and 5 of them there. Make sure it doesn't move.
Of the 6 teams that are starting their Olympic play today or tomorrow, Canada, of course, and Sweden being 2 of them. Only 11 players on the combined 6 rosters play for teams outside the National Hockey League. So in essence, this has become, with the 6 teams coming in yesterday, an NHL Olympic tournament. Not many guys that don't play in the NHL can make any of these teams.
That's Sundin, starts Dahlin. Cross center, Sundin up there with him now, heading for the net. Just missed the pass. It bounced over Sundin's stick as he was driving for the goal. He has scored the goal for Sweden. Rob Blake, the goal for Canada. Fleury nearly got away, intercepting that pass. Bumped by Fleury on the boards on Olsson. Alfredsson swings out for Sweden. Comes to center. Fleury is flattened outside the line, and there'll be a penalty against Matt Sundin, I think, of Sweden. He argues the play, but Sundin somehow grabbed Fleury near the boards.
I think it's going to be interference. We'll have a better look at it. Neither one of them have the puck. And Fleury runs a little interference on Sundin, and Sundin gives him the helmet wash, so it won't be interference. It'll be holding or roughing. I think they're going to call it holding. Anyway, Canada will get their first power play. And in these Olympics, all these teams can put 5 guys out, make your head spin on the power play.
Nolan is on there now with Korea. Lemieux, Rob Blake, and here's Joe Sakic. Across center, across the line. Pass is intercepted. They get back on side for Rob Blake to wait. Now he sees the opening and decides to shoot it in there on the wing for Lemieux. Blake is parked at the line. The puck comes by Lemieux and high over Blake's head down to Curtis Joseph.
You can see what the Swedish strategy is. 4 across the blue line once the puck comes up through the neutral zone, trying to force Canada to shoot it in.
Here's Blake again, getting center, ripping it in on the boards to the right of Tommy Saddle. They go in on the forecheck, and that is going to be Korea on his skate. Can he move it out? No, along the boards. It's grabbed by Blake at the line and fed ahead again. Nolan and Korea are there. It is Korea. Nolan is parked in front of Tommy Saddle. Outside, the 5 Canadians moving around. On the power play shot. That's deflected away from the net and cleared down the ice by Henrik Zetterberg. Sweden changing the penalty killers. 50 seconds left on this power play. Through center ice, Nordstrom shot it in off the boards, and Canada now will regroup, led by big Chris Pronger. Takes it behind the goal. Here he comes. Yzerman circles to his right. Pronger all the way with it. Fires it in there for Yzerman, but he won't get there. Salo was there in a hurry and played it on the boards. Sweden does not get it out. Yzerman kept it in, but now they're going to clear it. On the boards, it's fired away by Mike T.S. Back up for Canada, Pronger. Got across center. Eaton handled it up the line, and they go offside. Oh, I heard a whistle, yes. Certainly was offside. Yzerman didn't quite get it.
Well, you can see the Swedish strategy. If you force the team with the power play to shoot it in, it better be a good shoot-in, or it's going to come back out on you. There is the one chance Canada's had so far on a Korea shot that was easily handled by Tommy Sauer. 19 seconds left in Matt Sundin's penalty.
1-1 is the score. We played 13-12 of the opening period. McInnes. This short pass ahead doesn't quite work. Again, I had to scramble for it and get it in. Shanahan missed it. Sweden will get it out and down the ice. They've killed this first one off rather well. McInnes around the net. Penalty is over now. Sundin is on it. And the one shot, that's all. Here's Yzerman. Can't make the play. It's in front of the net, though. Yzerman had to back off. Now through center, Iginla gets the zone. Made a nice move there, but the second Swedish player, Alfredsson, took it away from him. Shanahan is going to try it. Gets it over in front of the net. Here's Blake again. Sharp angle shot. Stopped by Salo on the short side. Canada's foot comes up, and he lost it just inside the blue line. It was cleared. It went high at the Swedish bench, but the play was allowed to continue. Picked off by Blake. He has some room. Fired the pass blindly along the line, and that was broken up. And Sundin waits for help and finds it right here. This is Kim Janssen. Stopped by Joseph, and they come up. Another shot that creased the goalpost to the right. As Naslund came close, he's in there again. Naslund tried to kick it in front of the net. And it was broken up. Canada hanging on now. Sundstrom brings it back in. Nylander was up there, and he's turned around and fell. Comes back out front, kept in. Lidstrom dropped it to the line. And now Janssen. He has all the way to the corner to move. And then gets it back out front. Sundstrom doesn't pick it up, but it's cleared in. And a high shot off the shoulder of Joseph. As Kim Janssen ripped it from inside the blue line. And boy, Sweden has come alive.
Kim Janssen, 2 great chances on that shift. He has 38 points, 10 of them goals for Philadelphia. There's the one shot there that Marcus Naslund took, but Kim Janssen walks in off the point to get a real good opportunity. And the point coverage is vital in this series with the talented offensive defenseman.
Pekka brings it in now for Canada. Try to pass it front of the net. Off the goalpost. Cleared back down in front. Canada keeps it in there. Pekka swings from the line. Comes in off the boards, and that is Fleury trying to set him up, but it's broken up at the line by Zetterberg, and he brings it back down the ice. Wide of the net. And Joseph was out and made sure it stayed out of harm's way. 1-1 tie, Sweden in there again. Missed out the blue line, though, by Olin. He stopped his man, Newendijk, from breaking away. Zetterberg up there in this near side, and he is called on the offside. 15:26 gone in the first. It is tied at 1. The shots are 11-7 in favor of Canada.
There's the one that went off the goalie Salo, then off the goal post and out. As you can see, Pekka was the shooter, and I don't think Salo could see it. And certainly, he got a break when it hit him and went off the post.
McKinnon ripped the shot from center ice. That's stopped by Salo. Matthias Olin plays it up across center. They come in after it. Arvidsson tried to center it. Again, from the line. Long shot for Joseph to handle. He saw it through the crowd. 3 players in front of him. 2 of them Swedish players. The other one, the big Canadian defenseman, McInnes. Saw it, though.
Thomas Holmstrom, we know where he lives for the Detroit Red Wings. Not in the suburbs. He lives on the blue ice at Joe Louis Arena. And he goes there as soon as his team gets possession, and he'll be a tough guy to get out of there.
McInnes from the corner. Shoved it up on the boards and got it down the ice. Matthias Olin back. Just made short, got to center. They move it back up. Arvidsson got over the line and then lost it. Cleared out by Sakic. Down comes Lemieux. So far he's been rather quiet, but now he sets up Korea in front of the net with Sakic. It was tipped away by the defenseman in front, Oland. Korea's there in the corner. He is checked. Here's Blake. Screen shot. He missed the net this time. Holmstrom was over to check his man on the other side, Adam Foote. But Foote kept it in. Now, it's Sweden clearing it all the way down the ice. They wave off the icing, so Foote has to hustle. Sweden is changing. We played 16:37 of the first period. So it's winding down now. We're tied at 1. And Sweden, after a slow start, has come on. This is a hand pass, stopping this play.
One thing you've noticed already, a lot of more cross ice or long passes through the neutral zone. They're beautiful things to watch when they work. When they don't work, it's an odd man rush going the other way. And Mario Lemieux, it's great to see him back playing for Team Canada.
Eisenman, Iginla, Shanahan, the Canadian line. Alfredsson is on with Sundin and Dahlin for Sweden. Fired up across the Canadian line. Dahlin comes in looking for it. So does Alfredsson. In on the boards. Alfredsson tries to pass it back in front. It got out there all right. And Foote covered up, put it by Sundin. Knocked down the ice. Eisenman trying to catch up. He does get there, but he's checked effectively by Nicholas Lidstrom. The all-star defenseman for Sweden. Iginla off the boards with it. Slides it ahead to the corner. Canada having a tough time inside that Sweden blue line. The pass is picked off easily by Sweden. Dahlin brings it back down with Sundin again. Sundin's shot is deflected to the glass, high and knocked down. Sweden keeps it in on the far side. Sundin behind the goal. Sets out a pass. Joseph saw that pass. Coming out in front for Alfredsson and made a big play with that big goal stick. That was a fine play by Joseph. Kimmy Hansen fell, got back up, time to move it and does. Down to center, 2 minutes left in the first period. And this is Naslund, drilling one at Joseph. And again, Joseph is there, had the angle, and holds it.
What if General Motors hadn't invented the airbag? The safety glass? Or the rollover test? Or the crash test dummy? What if GM hadn't invented the concrete highway divider? Would you still feel safe getting into a car? As the world's largest automobile maker, we're not only committed to improving our cars, we're committed to improving all cars.
Lindros made the play at center. Brewer has to follow up. He'll likely come back with it to his defense partner, which he does. And Al McInnes strides away for Canada. Up over the line he goes. McInnes cutting in. Sharp angle. Fired the puck anyway, but missed the net. Nolan keeps it in. He shot it from long distance. Now McInnes another shot. Salo stopped it, but a loose puck is there. Salo is down. Puck is cleared away from the crease, and Sweden will bring it out. 1-1 tie. 1:20 left in the first. Kimmy Hansen down on one knee, got back up as he was hit by Gagne, who's now gone off for Canada as Team Canada changes. Sweden getting together at center again. That's Nylander. Brings it in. Renberg didn't see the pass, went up behind him, and Canada does not clear it away right away. Kept in by Sweden. On the boards. Jorgen Jansson lost it. It's down across center again. Fleury on the forecheck. Doesn't find it. Shot deep. And again, no icing. Brewer. First Olympic game for him. Nearly got tied up by Renberg, who was up there behind him. Blake brings it over center. The pass gets up to the Swedish blue line. Covering is Marcus Ragnarsson on the boards with it. Put it up onto the boards in the corner. And again, Nieuwendyk tried to feed it back, and he did. It bounces down to him. Left it in front. There's a shot. Pekka. What a chance that was. And Salo made a nice step and got some help on it. Down is Renberg for Sweden. Solo effort. Got one shot away, blocked, got another one, and flattened in front of Joseph before he could get a decent shot. Sweden back. 1-1 tie. Period just about done. One more chance, maybe. And Joseph got the blocker on that. There's the buzzer, ending the first period. The crowd, a very knowledgeable hockey crowd here in Salt Lake City, for all these games, on their feet, applauding a fine first period by these two. The shots were 15-10 in favor of Canada. The goals, Blake at 2:37 from Pekka and Fleury. Sundin from Alfredsson at 5:30. That was a dandy pass by Alfredsson up to Sundin. That's that cross all the lines pass type thing, Harry. And it worked that time for Matt Sundin.
Well, Canada had more shots, and they had more good opportunities to score. Tommy Salo made 5 or 6 excellent saves on a fairly closely played first period. Lots of long pass attempts, not a very physical period, and probably the score should indicate how the teams play.
So that's the first period here in Salt Lake City. Canada 15 shots, Sweden 10. Score after one period. Canada 1. Sweden 1. Here's Scott Oak.
All right, Joe, this moment was 15 months in the making. Describe the emotion on the team in the moments leading up to the opening face-off.
We all had a lot of butterflies out there, and it was for us that was a learning period. They really spread out the ice pretty well, and that's something that we can learn from. And defensively, we have to adjust on that in the neutral zone.
Yeah, I know it's been stated quite clearly by Pat Quinn. The goal is not to dump the puck in, but you had to in the first period on several occasions. Why?
Well, we felt we had to. I mean, that's really our game. We put a lot of pressure on them. We know we have to adjust and get better at keeping puck control. Like I said, it's something that they're doing a good job of, and we have to do a better job of.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, you're welcome.
Brian, back to you.
All right, thank you, Scott. It is 1-1 at the end of one period of play. Blake for Canada, Matt Sundin for Sweden. Just a reminder, Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz will skate in the compulsories of the dance in about an hour and 20 minutes from now. We will show you that on videotape following hockey. Also tonight, medal presentations. We'll show them to you live. 8:06 Mountain for Katrina LeMay-Doan, 8:24 Mountain for Becky Scott. That makes it 10:06 and 10:24 in the Eastern Time Zone. 1-1 at the end of one as I look off to my right. I see Don Cherry and Ron McLean in the Coach's Corner. That's up next as we continue live from Salt Lake City.
Take a westbound, heading down the rails. I end my day with the setting sun. I'm a happy man, now the work is done. Just past the station, I'm always glad to see what makes my life worth living, and it's waiting there for me, waiting there for me. When I hear that whistle coming, no matter where I roam, I see the light that shines for me. That's when I know I'm home. When I know I'm home. When I know I'm home.
Critics are united. Gene Shalit Ray's Heart's War is excellent. It's an absorbing drama with a maze of tension, suspense, and surprise.
35 men going to the wire.
Newsweek declares it's expertly plotted.
I'm forced to remind you, it's Kane. It's not the Spawn.
Willis and Farrell are simply magnificent.
How do you choose who goes out and who'd stay back to catch the Hellfort?
And it's the best film of the new year. Bruce Willis. Heart's War. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
Holiday bills arrived? Time for KFC's Chicken Lovers Feast with 3 extra pieces of our famous chicken and all the fixins. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
This is the story of a woman who didn't have milk, who lacked energy for the day, who didn't go rollerblading and didn't crash the set, who wasn't discovered and didn't become a big star or have the chance to walk down the red carpet and thank her mom and dad and all the little people for giving her milk as a kid. Milk. Life just isn't the same.
Holiday bills arrived? Time for KFC's Chicken Lovers Feast with 3 extra pieces of our famous chicken and all the fixins. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Coach's Corner with Don Cherry. Brought to you by VF Goodrich Tire, proud to cheer on Canadian athletes.
Choose road. Validating tires.
VF Goodrich tires with traction advantage.
Approved.
For control you can feel, no matter what road you choose. VF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Back at the East Center, we're all even at 1 after a period. What'd you think?
Well, as I said, watch the cherry pickers, and that's a play. That's a beautiful play. That was a lovely play. Defense got to play more. What happened was we were playing too wide, got to get in closer, and I'm telling you, line changes, strange line changes going out there, killing penalties. It's coming back from the 70s. What they used to do is turn on killing a penalty. Guys up, my brother started it, I think, at Philly. He was a defenseman. Turn like this and wait for the guy. The Swedes are doing that perfect. I know Pat Quinn said, don't dump it in, but if you don't dump it in, you're not going to get it in. We must have had 6 offsides to start with right there, and if they don't start dumping it in, they're going to get more offsides. Swedes look pretty good, and you notice all the shots on Cujo are high. I don't know what
Except
that means.
for the one that went in. We'll get to that in a minute.
But that was Sundin. But you see all the guys, when they get a shot, that was a breakaway.
I know, but
I'm talking about...
He who knows, Joseph.
I know, but out of the breakaway, but all the rest of the guys, when they're screening that, they're putting it high. It doesn't make any difference, just playing good.
All right, well, let's show a couple of illustrations of how clever you are and were.
Yes.
First of all, on that power play, Pat had said, no doubt about it, we got killed in Nagano going offside. We're going to hang on to the puck, but they did it. And so then on the breakaway, or on the power play, they dumped it in and they couldn't get at it. Here's an example of the Swedes
Watch how these guys, watch them lining up now. They turn, look at them. They're all lined up. They're like that. Now, if you dump it in like that, that was near the end of the power play. That's what they should have done right off the bat. They get it in, get on the old Bill Daly, as he says, you get in there. But if you're going to hang on to and make plays at that there blue line, they're going to kill you every time.
Both goaltenders were sharp, and here's the goal by Sundin, as you said. He is cherry picking. He almost got sprung a second time in that period, but let's look at the goal head-to-head with Cujo.
Well, here it is. As soon as they get it, we didn't see there. See, he just gets it and fire. He didn't even look. Just put it up there. Defense caught the defense flat-footed, as they say. Here it is. He just gets it and fires it. Just gets it and fires it, and he's there ready, and that's a beautiful play for them. Wasn't offside. I thought maybe it could have been offside.
If you're wondering, this is there's another look. The preliminary, there's no overtime tonight. They'll play for 2 points for the victory, a point for the tie in these 3 games. Don't get involved in shootouts until we go to the quarterfinals on the 20th. Sundin was funny. Fleury took a dive. How Canadian to trick him.
Now, but isn't it lovely, the delayed offside? Don't you love the delayed offside? That game was over with in no time. And the automatic ice, and you didn't even know it was automatic ice, and back face-off is so much better, the delayed and the automatic ice. Now, let's get to our, remember the last coach's corner? Hey, quiet! Remember the last time I said about the Germans and how good they were and everything?
Yes.
What happens?
They go 3-0.
Thank you very much, 3-0. And I remember I said they were tough, and I said they were courageous. Let's see how tough and courageous they are. A hockey player named Mayer. Watch this here. Beautiful. Blocks a shot, goes down, broke his jaw. Do anything to win. Watch this here play here. Doesn't make it. He should have turned his head. Remember, kids, I told you, when you go down like that, should have turned his head the other way to get him in the back of the helmet. Anyhow, the Germans, we play them Sunday. You're not going to win Sunday, but boy, that is something for those guys to make the rounds. That is something to before.
And Don, you're right that Canada should win it, but you always worry a little bit about injuries when you play a tough. You saw that at the World Championship.
Well, I remember Lafleur. We went over there. Was a Canadian German, a jerk. And I said before the game, what I'm worried about is some junior B Canadian hitting Lafleur, broke his nose, and that's what you're worried about. And they got Kolzig coming back too, by the way.
Okay, we got about a minute here. What was your take on Soleil and Pelletier receiving their gold medal here?
Well, you're asking me. I don't think they should. I know they want the gold. They should have taken it. But what a chicken way to do it like that. How can they get the gold? How can the Russians get the gold if the Canadian gets the gold? And we're giving it to the French judge all the time. What about the 4 other judges that voted for the Russians? And I have to say the Russians aren't involved. Oh, I see. The French girl just said, oh, well, I think we'll give it to the Russians. Who's caring? Who's kidding who? Now, here's the thing that I don't understand. This happened to us about 6 years ago in the ice dancing. They got them tapping their foot on it, and they give it to us again. You know why? They call us nice. I call us gutless. Somebody should have been up there pounding the table. This would never happen in the United States. They'd be too afraid. We're too gutless to get up there and pound and pound. 2 goals. I mean, come on. Who's kidding who? Should have been a gold for them. Take the gold off the Russian, and then it would mean something.
All right, Don's not in favor of French fry this time around. He's blaming others. Don on the Coach's Corner on Hockey Night in Canada in Salt Lake City.
Coach's Corner with Don Cherry. Brought to you by BF Goodrich Tire. Proud to cheer on Canadian athletes.
Rookie. Nice block back there. This belongs to you.
Витя вернулся. Господи, он же в Испании.
Наташа, что же будет с нашей любовью?
Я не хочу эту любовь.
Молчи, дурак.
Having difficulty getting RSPs off your mind? We make it easy. RBC Financial Group. RSPs made easy.
This is a Canada Now news break. Well, the reaction has been almost unanimous. Justice, after all. Saleh and Pelche will receive gold for their performance Monday night.
And we do hope we get the bronze, too, so we can get the entire collection in our living room.
An ongoing argument surfaced on the Canadian trade mission in Russia today. A running dispute over the Kyoto Accord on greenhouse gases. The premiers don't want it ratified unless it protects provincial interests. And Ralph Klein gave the Prime Minister a list of their demands. And the Queen, Prince Philip, and the royal family were among the mourners at the funeral of Princess Margaret. She died 6 days ago at the age of 71. At her request, it was a private ceremony. Margaret's ashes will be buried next to her father, King George. And now, back to Salt Lake City.
Here we get ready for the second period. Pat Quinn, I know, wants his team to sharpen up on the defensive zone coverage and a better job defensively between the blue lines. The first time Sweden won an Olympic hockey game was April the 23rd, 1920, 8-0 over Belgium, and Bob William Hewitt was the referee, the father of Foster Hewitt.
The second period is underway. The game is tied at 1. Jackie had it hop away from him on what appeared to be a break into the Swedish zone. Alfredsson at the other end of the rink, trying to pass it back out front, is not successful. It'll be cleared out by Canada. Lemieux to center. He gets it over the line, but had it knocked off his stick, and that was nearly a break. Canada nearly got caught on the change with too many men on the ice. They got away with it, though. Korea is back in. Korea to the blue line, and he was stopped. Nicholas Lidstrom got it out to Alfredsson. Up over the line, he goes for Sweden. Olsson is up with him. Doesn't make the pass for him. In on the boards, Nylander. Steps back out and drops the pass there near the line for Naslund, who circles. And the pass is picked off at the blue line, but kept in by Sweden. Turning, Nylander. Nylander left it there at the line. They circle beautifully and play it off the boards in deep. Shanahan was back there, rather Pronger for Canada, and got it away all the way down the ice. So that's an icing call against Pronger and Team Canada.
Boy, Canada was lucky on the line change. This is the long change, and there's a lot of them you have to make on the fly. And it nearly happened. That all the Canadians were going to the bench and none were getting on in time. It would have been a 2-0 breakaway.
Face off to the left of Curtis Joseph. Pronger again left it right there. It'll be brought out. Cross the line to center. And Sweden back in. Covering is Pronger, but he didn't clear the puck. Shot into the crowd and knocked down by that screen. Nylander plays it along the line. Nordstrom over there for Sweden. Centers it. Sundstrom left it behind the goal, and Canada takes over, but can they move it out? They get it to Iginla, and he's stopped immediately. Kim Janssen circles in his own zone. Dangerous pass, got away with it, lifting it high over Shanahan's stick. 1-1 tie. Second period, just about 2 minutes old, and here's Sweden again. Coming down across the line is Naslund. He and Nylander broken up. Back out Canada. Two-man rush to center ice, led by Yzerman. The shot is blocked by Salo. He will hold it. No rebound. Yzerman leaves for the bench.
You know, you don't have to watch too much of this game, and I'm sure in other games at this time, whoever can play, whatever team plays best between the blue lines might well win it. Good defensively. Don't give any odd man rushes. Don't let a guy like Yzerman right here skate the length of the center of the neutral zone and come into your own end with no trouble.
Al McInnes finds Gagne at center. He dumped it across the line, but they're offside. Lindros was a step ahead of everybody. That brings it back outside the line.
Not all offsides are caused by poor offensive decisions. Sometimes they're caused by a good defensive play, where you hold the winger up, or you make him take the long route around him, or you shove him offside. And that's what happened on that one to Canada.
Lindros stays on with Nolan and Gagne, and they win the draw. Brewer will bring it up. Might get a shot. Does, but he pounds it right at the defenseman, Kenny Janssen. Shot away to the boards by Sweden. Janssen steps in behind his goalie, Tommy Salo, and leaves it there. And then he was nailed in the corner. Hit hard by Owen Nolan. And Sweden takes over at center. Nolan comes over, and another hit by Owen Nolan. Side of the net. Curtis Joseph, watch that one. Being kicked off. Guinness doesn't get too far, but now it's down to Gagne. Drops it back on a player change. The Pekka shot is stopped by Salo. Lindros is in with a hit himself. Lindros again, knocked down a high pass. Along the boards he comes, tried to swing out in front of the net. Pekka was there with him. Kept in by Adam Foote at the line. Fleury tried a shot, picked off easily, and Sweden the other way. Fire it in, and they're going to change. Fleury up near center ice. Takes the pass from Foote. Got across the line, and Sweden again will take over in their own zone. We're tied at 1. Coming up to 4 minutes of play in the second. They're offside the other way now. Pekka checked his man, and Sweden is offside.
Well, there's no question about the fact that Sweden has one of the quicker teams, at least the forwards. Here's a good hit by Owen Nolan to get some forechecking done, something Canada hasn't done a lot of, but it's tough in the big rink to get a lot of good forechecking done.
Adam Foote has stopped trying to move it down. So Foote comes back, but Sweden is in forechecking hard. In on the boards, Axelsson got it loose. Rob Blake takes over, put it high to the glass. Does it get out? Yes, to center ice. And in comes Nieuwendyk. Tried to make the move inside, but it didn't work. Against Mattias Johansson. Read it perfectly. Mattias Ohlund now. To Johansson, he missed it. Canada keeps it in. In around the net is Fleury. Trying to center, he fell. The Swedish player went down with him, Mattias Ohlund. But he got up and took the puck away, lead pass to center. Nice play back for Arvidsson. He got it into the zone all right, but then was hit by Pronger in the corner. Sundin comes up for Sweden. He tried to dump it ahead, but it came out over the line. And back is Fredrik Olsson. Sweden move it away. Pass gets down by Mattias Norrstrom. Canada back. Niedermeyer shot it around the boards in the corner. Play a little slow, forming now. Pace lowered a bit as we start this second period. Both goals in the first. Sweden on the attack again. That is Alfredsson trying to move it up. Does. Sundin comes there. Centers it through the crease out the other side. And Joseph was down. Couldn't find it. Was flying high now over the glass into the crowd. And Matt Sundin causing a problem for Canada with that play.
Daniel Alfredsson missed the cross-crease pass, or it would have been a tap-in. Sundin passes. It gets by Pronger. You can see that Joe Sakic tried to tie Alfredsson up, but couldn't do a very good job on it. Here's Big Pronger throwing a hit. Canada looks like they might try and be a little more aggressive than they were in the first period.
Brewer, number 3 for Canada. Decides to go the right side after all. Made 2 changes. It's shot away off the stick down the ice. Again, couldn't trap it at center. Kim Janssen bumped. Again, was in there. He has Yzerman up with him, but Sweden will clear it. Kim Janssen down across the Canadian line. Allowed to come into the corner with it. Trying to go by McInnes. He caught him. Brewer comes over to take his man Sundstrom in on the boards. McInnes lost it. Nylander moving it around, and he's dangerous. A pass gets in front of the net, and now the shot just wide of the far side. Off the blue line. Came Naslund, had a good chance. He's on it again. Left it in the corner for Nylander. Powerful twosome. In front, Sundstrom. Whoa, score! Sweden is ahead. Joseph appeared to have stopped it, but it went high. And it's 2-1, Sweden.
Defensive zone coverage got in trouble. Steve Yzerman let Sundstrom go to the net after taking him originally, and the puck came right out to him, and he put it in. Here it is here. Yzerman doesn't take him in time, and he gets the shot that's partially stopped by Joseph, but not completely. As Nylander circles, throws it to Sundstrom, who puts it in. Nicholas Sundstrom from San Jose to put Sweden up 2-1.
Naslund and Nylander, great work inside that Canadian blue line. It seemed like forever. And they, of course, got the assists on that goal by Sundstrom. 6:06 was the time when Sweden took the lead on Canada. Another lead pass, nearly worked. Canada has to be careful now. Down 2-1. Lindros missed it. Chopped into the zone by Kenny Johnson. And he went in on the attack right in front of Curtis Joseph, who had smothered the puck.
Well, the defensive zone coverage is complicated by the width of the rink. And I think what has to happen, if you find yourself running around trying to catch up to somebody, your best bet is to get back to the front of the net. Sundstrom got away from Yzerman and was all alone, taking the pass from Nylander and put it in.
Sweden wins the draw again. Oland at the blue line. Lifted the puck into the corner on the backhand. Now he turns for the forehand, and the shot is deflected high. It's into the crowd. And it's Sweden taking it to Canada now in the second period. We played 6:48. Sweden is ahead 2-1 on the Sundstrom goal.
I think it's more of a zone defense than a man-to-man in your own end once the other team's had the puck for any length of time. And that's a little different in the smaller rinks where you can get after your man once you've selected him and squeeze him out. It's not so easy here, and of course you're playing against better caliber players.
Niedermeyer and Pronger. Niedermeyer is a great skater, and showing it to us now as he gets up over the line and chops it into the corner. Around the net it goes. Matthias Oland is there. Niedermeyer has to hurry back now. Might get caught there. Down for Sweden is Matthias Johansson. Shot just misses. Kept in there on the wing by Arvidsson. Behind the goal, Niedermeyer bumped off the puck, and this is Nieuwendyk. Coming back out over his own line to Fleury. He did not handle that pass off the heel of his stick. In comes Canada trying to pick it up, but it's Matthias Oland on the board to move it for Sundin. He's moving away at his own line. Down across center. Alfredsson was up with him. Pekka nearly broke it up. Now he does. Turning back up. Pass banked off the boards too far for Fleury. Sakic circles, won't touch that one. Played in by Dahlin. To the corner. To the breaks on. And Alfredsson. And Dahlin. Sundin is open, takes the pass in deep. Sundin looks around. Throws it in behind the net. And it'll be taken by Canada's Lemieux, and he got it up to center ice. Sakic couldn't pick it up. Correa. For Lemieux, and Sakic coming in over the line. Sakic to Lemieux. Little too far for him, but he gets it back up front. Sakic shot. And that is deflected and held. And the face-off will come outside.
To celebrate the Olympic Games, McDonald's brings you two world-famous tastes at a great price. A Big Mac and small fries for only $2 plus tax. Every toonie should be worth this much.
There's a little McDonald's in everyone.
Canada had dumped the puck in after the face-off. Sweden picks it up, and they're looking sharper every shift. They're ahead of Canada now, 2-1, and we played 8:38 of the second period. Canada got the first goal. Blake scored that. Sundin tied it. And now Sundstrom here in the second has given Sweden a 2-1 lead. McInnes the other way for McGinley. Immediately he's covered. Can't move it out. Sweden keeping it in. Again a centering pass. Joseph is down. Can he find it? Yes, he can. And he hangs onto it. Following the game, we will have the Labatt 3 Stars online. You have a chance to have your own say and pick the stars from today's game. Log on at cbc.ca/Olympics and make your selection beginning in the third period. We've played 9 minutes and the second of the second period. 2-1 Sweden. First game for both teams. Puck is in deep. Niedermeyer around the net. Quick pass. Rink wide. Knocked down by Janssen. Kenny Janssen shot it up over the Canadian line, but Canada back out. Niedermeyer swinging away across center. Shot off the crossbar. Good rush by Scott Niedermeyer, showing us his stuff for the first time and drilling the high shot off the crossbar.
Well, this is one of the few times a Canadian player has been allowed some free ice between the blue line. And there you can see the shot. Had Tommy Salo beaten, but goes off the crossbar and out of the rink. So a break for Sweden. They have done a nice job of making sure there's lots of roadblocks between the blue lines on the rush. They didn't have any up then, and Niedermeyer nearly burned them.
Niedermeyer stays on now with the Lindros line on. Owen Nolan to take the face-off, and Niedermeyer takes it. Again, he looks at the line and backs off. Gets it to Connor. Rolls it back to him. Niedermeyer to Connor a second time. Sweden covering between the two blue lines. Connor all the way back to Lindros now. Lindros down the wing. That's too far for anybody to pick up. No icing goal, and they come in to get it. Matthias Oland along the boards to the line. That's knocked down by Gagne, and Nolan up for it. Lindros is over in front of the net. He circles at the blue line, hoping it'll come back there. But it won't, as Sweden picks it up, and Lindros was in to make a hit. Cleared by Holmstrom at center. Dropped in over the Canadian line. And right to Joseph, but stepping in front of him was Niedermeyer again. To swing it out. Another nice move by him to get the zone. Niedermeyer's pass is off his skate, and Sweden gets a break. Down there on the wing is Axelsson to get it up to him. Plays it back in front of Sundin. He missed it, and now it's opened up here in the second period. Canada swings back out. In there hard is Fleury, trying to drive inside. He does! Can't get a shot, though. Stopped at the line by foot, but it rolls out across the line to center. Canada turning it up now against Sweden. With Sweden ahead 2-1. Long pass to Alfredsson. Sundin on the far side takes that pass. Cuts in with a shot. Scores! Matt Sundin gets his second on Curtis Joseph. And Sweden is ahead of the game. 3-1.
And Matt Sundin, who's really on a roll in the National League and very early in the Olympic tournament, blows a slap shot by his teammate with the Leafs, Curtis Joseph, right here, coming down the wrong wing, top of the circle. I don't think it hit the defenseman on the way in, but if you let Sundin get inside the top of the circle, you're asking for trouble. And Curtis Joseph and Team Canada got it. Matt Sundin gets his second of the game.
Sweden 3, Canada 1, just past the halfway mark of the second period. Canada backs up now, looking for composure. They're down 2 goals to Sweden. Lemieux swinging around inside that line, trying to make a play that'll work. Back to the line, long shot, doesn't get to the net. Here's one by McInnes, stopped by Salo, knocked down in front, scramble. Nobody can get a stick on it now. Salo is down, and he hangs on to that puck somewhere beneath him. And now he gets back to his skates, and there it is.
Al McInnes, too bad for him. The puck was rolling when he walked into that puck, and he never did get all of it. So it was a ground ball that was stopped by Salo, and then a real fight for the puck in front. Salo's not sure where it is. 2 Team Canada players get a swing at it. Korea and Sakic, neither can connect.
Canada winning the face-off, trailing by 2 goals now. On the boards is Yzerman. To the corner it goes. Shanahan poked it behind the net a second time. Matthias Oland is there. for Sweden. Puck is still in the corner as they fight for it along the boards. Jörgen Jansson couldn't move it. Now it's fired out of the zone by Renberg. Coming in on goal. Zetterberg, shot it! Score! 4-1 Sweden. They're running away from Canada now on that break. Zetterberg made the play. Might have had a shot himself. But it's 4-1. Sweden, a happy group in this building now.
It's suicide to pinch. There's Pronger, 44. Can't get back into the rush, and neither can Iginla. And Niedermayer's fighting off not only Zetterberg, but then he has to worry about the pass. And Joseph has not much of a chance at all, as he had to play Zetterberg as well. And the pass went back out in front of the net. And Kenny Jonsson, who jumped into the rush, had a wide open net to make it 4-1 Sweden.
Play offside at the Swedish blue line. Sweden looking very impressive. And Joseph, well, I don't know. Right now, 4 goals on Curtis Joseph. Will Mr. Quinn make a move? They're talking over there on the bench. Don't forget, these first 3 games are for positioning only, but one has to send a message, and one would like to send a message early. And let me tell you, folks, Sweden is sending a message right now.
The message is the neutral zone belongs to them, not to Canada.
Shot in over the line, through the corner by Holmstrom. Gagne was back, flipped it ahead. Big Lindros hooked it down on the far side. That's too far for Nolan. And it again is called icing.
Well, Martin Brodeur is going to play. Whether Pat Quinn takes Joseph out remains to be seen. Pat Quinn is a hockey coach. Yanks the goaltender rarely. And I don't know that he's not going to say, we're going with Joseph tonight. We'll go with Brodeur in game 2. Then we'll decide who's going in game 3 and on from there.
Sweden hitting Canada for 2 goals in a minute and 5 seconds. Here in the second period, they've opened up a 4-1 lead. Nieuwendyk, backhand pass up by Sal. Gollin takes it off the boards, wastes a little time and gets it up over center where Pekka picked it up for Canada and dropped it back. McInnes's pass to Nieuwendyk. Can he control it? It was rolling. Now he brings it in. Over here to Pekka. Backhand pass in front, picked off by Sundin. And he did get it out quickly to Alfredson. He tried to roll it up to the Canadian line, and Pekka again was back. Now, Pekka is open. Does the pass come to him? Yes, it does, but a little bit too far for him. Pekka gets it, rolled it in. Sake took a swing at it, and just missed the far post. Sweden getting the puck out of the zone, and down the wing is Naslund. Nylander up with him. Canada bring it up and shoot it back down the ice. No icing, waved off. Both teams are changing. Coming up to 14 minutes of play in the second period. Sweden on top of Canada 4-1. Ragnarsson leaves it. Drop back to him. Gets it through center ice and down into the Canadian zone. Parnell and Niedermayer, the 2 defensemen again for Canada. They try the long pass for Korea. Not near him. Knocked down. Sweden waiting for that. Turning back is Nylander with Naslund. They get it in deep around the net. Sundstrom is up on the play, but it'll be Korea getting out of the zone. But no problem. Sweden is back, and they just calmly pick it up. Sweden is changing, allowing long lead pass up to the line, but it was offside. There was Renberg, just offside.
Zetterberg, one of the few non-NHLers who plays in the Swedish Elite League. They have 3 players that play in the Swedish Elite League that made this Olympic team for Sweden. Canadians dressed in all kinds of outfits, wanting to cheer, but for a while haven't had much to cheer about.
Nearing 15 minutes of play in the second. Eisenman picked it up inside the line, was checked immediately. Good work by the Swedes in their own zone. Nicholas Lidström drops it back. This is Kenny Jonsson. He got that last goal from Zetterberg at 11:47. They're in there again. Jonsson can't get a shot. He's tied up in front of the net. across the line. Iginla moves it in. The pass gets over there all right, but it was offside again at the blue line. 5:20 left in the period.
Well, I think the players on both teams will tell you that because there are no commercials and because the hurry-up face-off and instant icing, you have to play shorter shifts and you have to make diligent line changes on the fly, or you'll pay the price. And that's something both teams should improve in as the tournament wears on.
Nearly a mile high here in Salt Lake City, too, so the air, you might imagine, is a bit thinner. And they have to be in top shape. And that's another reason for the quick shifts. Matthias Olin. Certainly you have to go with the 4 lines. There'll be no 3 lines in this game. Kept in by Axelson again. Off the boards. Taken by Gagne, but he threw it into the crowd in the corner. Olin is up there to get a shot. Low. It was stopped in front of Joseph. Sweden, though, on top of Canada inside that line again. Centering pass. And Joseph is on the post. Another attempt to drive it by him, but he was down on one knee, and this time he keeps it out. Sweden is leading by 3 goals, and they're not quitting.
Holmstrom was fired to the ice by Al McInnes as he's trying to dislodge the puck. Here's Holmstrom, 96. You'll see him in front of the net here. That's where he loves to hang out. The puck's there, 1 grab, 2, and then McInnes comes in and gets rid of him.
There's a penalty on the play, too, to Al McInnes for a high stick.
I think it could have been called high sticking or cross-checking. One thing about Thomas Holmstrom, every defenseman in the league has a tough time with him in front of the net. And he really is a tough guy to get out of there, and he draws a lot of penalties because he's willing to stand in and take the abuse, just like the abuse that Al McInnes gave him to get him away from Joseph.
Al McInnes in the penalty box. Sweden ahead of Canada 4-1. And now a power play. They're first in this game. Canada had one in the first period and managed just 1 shot. Salo comes out to rescue the puck for Sundin. Sweden lining up now. The 5 of them get going. Sundin on that left side. Nicholas Lidstrom, the quarterback, gets across center, didn't make the pass, but he got over the line, then it was too late. Up there for Lemieux, out of his reach. Sundin back. 4:10 left to play in the period. Sweden in again. Chance in front, score! Well, it was Dahlin all alone, and he went in on Curtis Joseph. And Sweden is continuing the rout on Canada, unbelievably. 5-1 Sweden, and full marks for it.
Well, you should never give up a breakaway or a 2-on-1 when you're killing a penalty. And that's exactly what happened. You can see Ulf Dahlin walks in all alone and puts it by Joseph on the glove side. Sundin made the initial pass, and it was about a 70-foot pass that created the 2-on-1, and Sweden finished it off with a Dahlin goal.
Long pass for Fleury over his stick. That's icing, I'm sure. They call it right away, and back it'll come in Canada's zone.
You can see getting caught the odd time when you're playing 5-on-5, but when you're a penalty killer, the defenseman, you have to back up as far as the furthest opponent goes. The Canadian defense didn't. Sundin threw the long pass to Nicholas Sundstrom, and he got it over to Dahlin.
The shot from the line to the face-off just tipped wide of the net. Fleury moving up to center. Pekka to Fleury. Over the line, Fleury. He's in a decent spot for the shot. Got it away into the crowd in front of Tommy Salo. Foot goes around the net, trying to move it out. Canada desperate now for the goal. Pekka ran into his man behind the net and bowled over Kim Janssen. Canada trying to press to keep it in. Foot had to change. They were short for the moment, but now Brewer is on in his spot. Back at the line, and they have to come back out as Sweden is in control. Kim Janssen fired a pass up off the boards to center ice. Sweden on the attack again. And the shot picked up by Joseph as Nylander nearly fooled him with a quick wrist shot. High pass. Shanahan couldn't knock it down. That's going to be another icing call against Canada. It's a 5-1 lead for Sweden now.
Last year, taxpayers received an average refund of $715. Did you get all you deserve? How will you know? To make sure you maximized your refund, H&R Block will double-check last year's tax return free. We can file an adjustment on past returns. You could get more money back.
Canada long lead pass again called on the offside. They're just not sharp.
Walter Gretzky wouldn't miss this tournament for anything in the world. And his son is wondering, maybe I should have missed this game, as Team Canada looked all right in the first period. But there's Kevin Lowe. They have been the second best team on the ice in period 2. Pretty obvious if you look at the scoreboard.
Pronger takes the puck and comes away with it. Tried that long lead pass, and they're not working that. Sweden. Janssen. Again, Janssen. The goal in the game. We're playing a solid game back inside his own line. Canada's offside. Niedermeyer was up, and he tried to hold on to it, but it had escaped and went back in over the line.
Well, Niedermeyer's one defenseman who can carry the puck, and I think that he has to do a little more of that, and maybe talk a couple of his buddies into it, because the long passes, if you think you can complete them through the neutral zone, the Swedish sticks are in the passing lanes on a lot of occasions.
Sweden scoring 4 goals in the second period, a commanding 5-1 lead on Canada in the first game for both teams. Sweden organizing to come out again. Blitzen shot it down the ice, and their call for icing now. And it will be brought back to the left of Tommy Salo for this next face-off. We have 2:04 left to play in the second period, and the shots are 20 by Sweden now and 18 by Canada.
18 different Olympic hockey players who are starting today lead their own NHL teams in scoring. So it's a tip-off of the offensive skill of these players.
Mattias Janssen poked at it in the corner. Up on the boards, Mattias Johansson again trying to move it out. He's tied up. Did get a stick on it for a fraction of a second. He stays with it, give him credit, and flipped it behind the Swedish goal. Now he takes the pass, gives a pass. Mattias Ohlund in across the line. Arvidsson was with him, and Joseph had to be careful. Shots in this period now are 10, make that 11-3 for Sweden.
Now, Skip developed an interesting habit at work last week, didn't you, Skip? All of a sudden, he has to print everything in color. I tell him, Skip, it's about the money. Even our white papers are in color.
Actually, Mr. Arnold, color isn't that expensive anymore. There's even an affordable color printer that's faster than 90% of the printers out there. Skip's ahead of the curve.
Canada trying to get it going before the period is done. Gagne trying to drop it back for Lindros. He was tied up, as Sweden covering well in their own zone. Matt Sundin just missed it. Dahlin was up there across center ice, and he was offside on that attempted pass. 1:09 left in the second period. It's not been a great period for Canada. A good one for Sweden.
One thing the Swedish player forwards have been doing is one of the three of them spreads out the Canadian defenseman by leaving the zone early as soon as he sees one of his teammates gets possession. Not only do they complete some of those long passes, but they clear out the neutral zone, so if the pass doesn't come, the puck carrier has some room.
Again, the pass up to Niedermeyer was behind him. Now Brewer has to be careful back in his own zone with Nylander up on top of him immediately. Gets it again. Canada gets the puck out, but Sweden has it again. Naslund lifts it in. Sundstrom will give chase. He and Brewer puck together. Brewer holds him, and McKinnon shot it around the boards. Kept in by Nordstrom. Shot it to the corner. It'll come to McGinnis. He turns it back up ice with a long lead pass. That won't work again for Fleury, who's the man up there. 3 Swedes on the attack. Naslund. Nylander. He's held on the boards. Naslund comes in to help him. At the blue line, it's kept in by Kim Johansson. Knocked down in the corner. Sweden forechecking Canada. Won't let him get going. Packet at center ice. He brings it in, turns up the line and gives the puck away. Sweden back out, just lifted away by Naslund as the buzzer goes to end this period for Canada they'd want to forget about. 4 goals by Sweden. Canada coming up empty, and the shots were 11-3 in favor of Sweden, and they got the firepower going. 21-18 over 2 periods, Sweden now, and they're ahead in the game, 5-1.
I felt like she was in the house.
Emily's dead, Joe.
How far would you go?
Joe!
I believe she's trying to contact me for one more moment. Dragonfly.
At theaters Friday, February 22nd.
This is the curb that me and Natasha used to come to. Our whole entire world, this curb right here. We all lead up the curb, we all lead down the curb, we stalled on this curb. I look at this now and it's so small, but this was so big to us. Yep, Natasha and I challenge each other every single day, actually, on anything. Everything was a contest. Yuho from Japan, Natasha from Canada. Who'd have thought us skateboarding here every day would produce an Olympic athlete, you know?
The Olympic Winter Games only accept the best athletes, and the only card they accept is...
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I have a moment of your time? True or false? I enjoy frosting in the morning.
True.
Raise the roof.
Try to remain professional, sweets. True or false, sir? Eating nutritious food is important to me.
True.
Bravo. Add a notch to the wheats tally.
Whatever. Okay, that's 43 likes for the sweet side and 43 likes for the wheat side. So what have we learned?
I've learned time at the mall is better spent buying shirts.
Shirts? You don't wear clothes and you have no arms.
Speak for yourself.
This winter, Hollywood's biggest bully is going down.
You really think it's gonna work?
In the movie the critics are calling fun for the whole family. Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes, Big Fat Liar, now playing everywhere.
Alberta, a province with a proud tradition of taking bold, innovative strides. And we're taking that leadership approach with healthcare. Albertans want healthcare to be efficient and available for generations to come. That's why the government is working with recommendations made by the Premier's Advisory Council on Health. It's time to act and put health first. Learn more about the choices, decisions, and steps being taken now. Health first, Alberta's emerging advantage.
Discover the Olympic Winter Games online. Get interactive with video features and forums. Complete news of events, listings, and get in touch with your hometown hero. Experience Salt Lake 2002 at cbc.ca/Olympics.
Trudeau, March 31st on CBC.
Well, a shocker here in Salt Lake City at the East Center behind me after 2 periods of play. It is all Sweden. Matt Sundin with a couple of goals, and it's interesting. Matt Sundin versus Curtis Joseph head-to-head in the NHL. Sundin has 4 goals and 14 assists in 19 games against Curtis Joseph. He has 2 against his NHL teammate here tonight. Let's bring you up to date on what has been a very busy day here in Salt Lake City. Let's begin with women's curling. Kelly Law from Vancouver defeating Germany by a score of 8-4. Great Britain gets by Switzerland. That's a bit of an upset. Close game, Sweden over Japan, and Norway by 1 over Russia. So the standings, the only unbeaten rink is the Law rink from British Columbia. On the men's side in curling today, Kevin Martin defeating Germany. The United States had no trouble with France. That's Tim Somerville from Wisconsin. Denmark losing to Norway, and Finland defeated Great Britain. Kelly Law is undefeated. Canada 5-1 on the men's side. Remember, Kevin Martin beaten yesterday by Sweden. Well, earlier today, Becky Scott from Vermilion, Alberta made history, becoming the first Canadian male or female. Look at this. The bronze medal
first medal ever for a Canadian in cross-country skiing in the 5K pursuit. We'll cover her medal presentation as we look at the flower presentation. Her medal presentation about 8:24 Mountain, 10:24 Eastern. Bronze medal to Vermilion, Alberta's Becky Scott. Still in that same event, Sarah Renner is from Canmore. Mylène Thériault, 35th from New Brunswick. Amanda Fortier, finishing 51st in the classical, did not advance. In snowboarding, Jerome Silvestre from Bromont, Quebec, finishing 12th in the parallel giant slalom. In luge, I was going to say two-man luge, but it's not two-man because after 1992, they ruled that women could compete with men, but so far we've had no mixed luges. Chris Moffat and Eric Pache in a great performance to finish 5th. One other Canadian duo, Grant Albrecht and Mike Moffat, finishing 12th today in the luge. Now, let me bring viewers up to date. Medal presentations, if you were with us last night, Katrina LeMay-Doan was delayed in traffic. She did not get to the medal presentation, so they delayed it until tonight. Katrina LeMay-Doan will get her gold medal tonight shortly after 8 o'clock here in the Mountain Time Zone. That is about 10 o'clock Eastern. We'll carry it live. And as I said, we figure about 8:24 here in the Mountain Time Zone. That should be about 10:24 Eastern. Becky Scott gets her bronze for cross-country skiing. Don't forget, Born in Kratz tonight in the compulsories in the dance competition. We will bring that back following hockey videotape. That goes in about 20 minutes from now. Earlier today, Soleil and Pelche getting their medal, or it's announced they will get their medal next week, so there'll be 2 gold medals in the pairs competition. Tonight, we will go live to their home club, the Royal Glenora Club in Edmonton. We'll get the reaction from relatives, friends, and coaches. Tonight on Olympic Connection, we'll talk more about judging and figure skating. The highly respected Canadian judge, Jean Semp from Vancouver. Remember, it was Jean who blew the whistle 4 years ago on the judges inaugural. She will join me. We'll talk about what needs to be done in figure skating. I mean, this French judge, yes, she was wrong, but believe me, she is a scapegoat. She was influenced by her federation. Compulsory, or corruption, I should say, exists because it's allowed to. The corruption in figure skating goes far beyond this French judge, and we will talk